Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Watching this later on, happy whatever day it is. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that we get to share this moment to have ourselves a little conversation. So I'm waiting for the live chat to pop on in here. And we'll have ourselves a little bit of a creative conversation. I have the locking mechanism all installed into the ginkgo gate. Now, it works great. It works great. There's nothing like when a plan goes to plan. You know what I mean? There they are. Hi, guys. Welcome. Oh, so good to see you all. And I'm so sorry for missing last week. It wasn't anything on your end. It was definitely on mine. I was definitely under the weather. I got myself just a kind of a crappy little, I don't know, maybe just a little overworked. But yeah, just a little weak-ass little cold. I'm feeling much better now. Thank goodness. Hi, William. Oh, man, we got Scout. It was great. We were, that's one of the patrons. We just wrapped things up at the tea time. And that was a blast. It's so rewarding. It's so wonderful. What a cool community that is. Could you show the mechanism? I'd love to see how it works. It's kind of locked in to the gate currently. But I'm so happy with how it all works. And I'm not able to grease it just yet, which frustrates me because I want to feel it when it's like nice and lubed up in there. Since this is going to be a powder coated unit, there can be no grease, oils, or anything on it. So I'll be able to do that later on. Sent from a safe stop. Awesome. Woven, how you doing? Awesome. I recently found that local group where I can play MTG cards. That's fantastic. It's great. Community's so important. Oh, but now that the locking mechanism is done, I'm gonna shift gears. Because now what's left is like the ginkgo portal, right, with all the leaves, the branches, and all of the cool fine scroll work and all that good blacksmithship is gonna be in there. Switching gears, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna switch gears over to Scorpius. Scorpius is our next zodiac that I'll be building and forging, which is this number here. Very excited to put this to life. It's another water sign, so it'll be blues and aquas. Where do I put it? I'll put it there. Right over there. But yeah, I'm excited for Scorpio. That's gonna be a really fun thing. I just finished the base, and then I'll be forging here in no time. So the base is, a flat plain circle with a ring around it, which kind of makes a bit of a bell. I don't have to explain to you just how much joy I get out of resonance, ring and resonance. Here, check this out. So here's the base, right? It's 17 inches. Everything is 1/4 inch, but listen to it. Not that it's like, not that it's like a perfect bell. If I was making an instrument, I would hone it in really nice, but it's discordant. It shouldn't ring this well, actually. Because the ring itself is not a continuous thing. It's got a weld, so it's fairly continuous. But I just love things that ring. There's just something so, even if it is, discordant. Discordant meaning it's not a perfect note. You hear a bit of boom, 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 boom. You're hearing several notes that are very close to each other, but it's not perfect. You know what I mean? I love it. Things that ring, I swear, it just gets me so excited. Hi. Of course you show things away from the screen. Oh, Scout, I'm so sorry. What BDSM? Oh, I know, I typed like a rack. No. So I built that frame to build the gate because the gate needs some testing. It's not just some barrel hinges, nothing that ordinary and simple. Let me show you. Let me show you. So, this gate I'm building, since there's going to be stained glass in its construction, since there's going to be a lot of stained glass, I made sure that there was never a latch over here or a stop, because for very, very specific reasons. You know, when I'm in my mind and I'm doing my internal AutoCAD, you know, doing scenarios and, you know, planning for that 100-year storm or what have you, I needed that gate to not be slammable. Like there never could be a spot where it stops instantly, because the gate will stop, but the glass will keep going, right? It'll just go like boom, and then the glass will just keep moving, right? So I was like, okay, you know, this gate has to swing both ways, you know. Anyways, yeah, so I need to swing both ways, and doing so, I'm able to have it self-closing. Hey, Harry! Long time no see. Man, tea time with you was so great. It was so great chatting with you at the Patreon this morning. It was wonderful. Anyways, swing both ways, all right? But I'm going to use the weight of the gate. This gate will be about 250 pounds or so. And I'm going to utilize the weight of the gate to make it self-closing, right? It's lifting the gate, the hinges are, as it opens up. And it will always want to go to the path of least resistance, which is closed. So, sorry, I'm taking a long time to explain this. So you have these barrel hinges that will be cut at an angle. The reason for this, like you said, BDSM contraption, I built this frame so that I could install it with all of the hardware exactly how it will be on site, because this is an exact representation of what's on site, right? All the way down to the 16th. And I will be able to put my stamp of approval on this thing the second it leaves the shop, because I don't want to be guessing. I don't want to be there on installation day trying to sleep, you know, the night before, thinking like, oh my God, what if it doesn't work? If it leaves my shop, it works perfectly. If that makes any sense. But yeah, that's where we are. But yeah, sorry, that was a long explanation for the comment. But I would love to check in with the chat again. You know, what are you guys working on? Do you have any questions for me? Because this is such a great opportunity where I'm able to like talk with my community and hang out with you guys and explain the intricacies of my work. I also got more updates. I got a lot of updates for you guys. Actually, let me do that while you guys think about it. Let me unwrap this. Okay. I believe you guys remember this, right? This is a model. This is a model of a logo, and that is the logo in a way. But what's cool about it, this would be in a roundabout. So you'll be driving around it and it'll be transforming as you're looking at it, right? As you're driving around this roundabout. And there would be lighting and all sorts of cool stuff going on. But I just got the green light to build the Pfeiffer version of this as like a proof of concept. I'm very, very excited to be able to build this. Yeah, it'll be hollow fabrication. I don't know if it's going to be stainless steel or if it's going to be Core 10. Core 10 is a grade of steel that is like rust resistant. And not that it doesn't rust. It does exactly that. It rusts to where it has this like nice coating, this outer shell of like bluing, if you will. And then it stops. Stops dead in its tracks. So I'm not too sure what the finish is going to be like. We will see. How big is it if you get to make it for them? William, that's a great question. So we're going to start with the 5-foot version, and then I'm going to reassess the design after that proof of concept, right? Once I build it the way that, you know, it's one thing to build it a foot tall. It's an entirely other thing to build it to life scale. But for the roundabout, guys, we're talking 20 feet. We're talking monolithic scale. It's going to be a blast. And we might even get it to where it's even more complicated, where I'm going to break that into even more pieces and elongate it so that once you see it from the side, it'll be wildly unrecognizable. I'm going to put myself to the test, you know? When it comes to, when it comes to scale, there's such a childlike wonder and awe of scale. So 20 feet is going to be pretty slick. Rage, that's one of my members. Hi. Rage, welcome, my friend. So sorry for last Sunday. I wasn't here. I was feeling super under the weather, but I'm back, baby. You can't keep me down for that long, you know? We're back. So how you guys doing? Ooh, is it different to work with Corten steel than regular steel? Yeah, they're all a little bit different. Did I miss the blind forging event? No. So that forging event is here locally. I'm very excited for it. It's the first of its kind in our area. It's gonna be kind of fun. Like it's not my usual thing. I don't really like competition when it comes to creativity. It just never made much sense to me. But another blacksmith is putting it on, and I was like, well, why wouldn't I show my support? That'd be crazy, right? So yeah, I'll be showing my support, giving commentary. It's gonna be a blast. Hey Max, hope all is good. That would be a sweet sculpture. Just finished spark plug guy on a chopper. Jason, that's fantastic. That's awesome. Spark plugs. Yeah, like God, I remember back, before, fuel injection and stuff like that, changing spark plugs out of my truck and all that good stuff. Good on you. Are you gonna finish the Valhalla doors there? Rage, I know everything's about those doors, but I'm so glad that it impacted that many people, and I definitely want to return back to them. Absolutely. It's been too long. It's been too long that I've had these things memorized in my head, and they're always ticking, always just moving and grooving. Copper, hey, look who just came to visit us. Copper dog, come here, buddy. There's my handsome boy. Come here. Here he comes, Mr. Copper Dog. Come here, dude. Yeah, he's taking his sweet time, though. Oh, buddy. Hey, Mythic, dude. It's so good to see you, bud. Thanks for joining us, man. There he is. It's Mr. Copper Dog. Ooh, how do you keep a weirdo in suspense? We're all fellow weirdos. Oh yeah, no, we're all weirdos here. It's so funny. We were talking with the patrons on Tea Time about like normalcy and like normal people. I don't think they even exist. I think it's a mythical thing. I think people are cosplaying as normal people. Be weird. How about this? I give you the permission slip to be your weird self. I swear, like when you begin to deconstruct what you're supposed to be, amazing things start happening. Interesting synergies, but it's almost like trying to force a round peg through the square hole. You know what I mean? Like there's so many expectations that are placed on us. And once you start ascending above that, oh, baby, that's it. And then especially allowing your creativity, right? Childlike sense of play. God, we had this great conversation today already with the tea timers. Harry, you sparked this a lot. One of my apprentices, he was talking about like reconnecting with his inner child. That sense of play, coloring with his own child. Being a dad, and like giving himself the allowance of not being all the responsibility, this adult, this crushing weight always on our shoulders. Allowing yourself to play, allowing yourself to feel like a kid a little bit every now and then is so important. Just be yourself. Everyone else is taken. You know what I mean? Normal is boring, and it doesn't exist. I love that. We should embrace our individuality. Absolutely. I joined Gish. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, just be weird. It's beautiful. And you start to attract the people that really like are attracted to who you really are, you know? And like there's many ways of attraction, right? Like we're not talking that kind of attraction, the fun kind. I'm talking about just like that magnetism, right? That commonality. Also reminds me of death to normalcy. Don't, yeah, hell yeah. Cheers to that. Speaking of which, oh man, it's so good to reconnect with you guys. I missed you all on Sunday. Last Sunday, that is. It's just so fun to be able to like connect with people. And what's so cool is you guys are all around the world, you know? You know, as we move forward, I feel like when it comes to divisions and stuff like that, we're able to kind of circumnavigate that and be here. Justin, dude, what's up, my friend? I'm so glad you're here. Interesting teapot, right? I love this thing. It's kind of very Ereborian, you know? Oh, yeah. Still a little under the weather, but recovering well. I think we recovered good. You know, we crashed, boom, bang, but we landed on our feet. You know, we did a little tuck and roll action, and we're back. We're back hot to trot. Oh, what's up, man? You know, we're just hanging out. It's been great. We had a great tea time this morning. Very inspiring. We were talking about importance of creativity, right? Exercising that inner child that we all got inside of us that we suppressed in some way or another. And, talking about climbing the mountain. And Yvonne said something profound that has shaken me. And I'll probably be thinking about this as I'm on my riding lawnmower today, cutting down all this beautiful grass that's popping up. And it's about it's one thing to dream about the mountain. You can spend your entire life dreaming about the mountain and imagining what it's like up there. But it's another to climb it. And that's I think putting pen to paper, putting brush to canvas, putting hammer to anvil, climbing that mountain, being creative, forging that path, quite literally. That's the brave stuff. It takes a lot of courage to be creative. Ooh, you tried out some old hunting rifles. Nice. Very good. Very good. My inner child likes cleansing power of fire. No kidding. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. I mean, our ancestors it's literally as far back as we can, just what fire gave us. Gave us this right here. It gives me all the power in the world to create. Staring into the flames and seeing the future. It's, fire is a beautiful thing. It's both destructive, but it's such a creative power. Ooh, a Damascus teapot. That would be pretty cool. I mean, just you can imagine it just with this construction. Very isohedron, aesthetic, just triangles. Just forge out a bunch of mosaic triangles and facet them together. That would be pretty cool. I already built it in my head. Oh, it was funny. We were also talking because it's the time of the year, right? People are getting their little head colds and stuff like that. And I think the worst part about it is that kind of pew of your brain shutting down. That's the worst. I told the tea timers, it's God, I traded in my Ferrari for a tricycle. And, the first day it's kind of nice. Oh, I can just sit here and not be buzzing with a million ideas and, just gripped by creativity. But the second day it's okay, I'm ready to haul ass again, Ooh, I'm going to start a custom book that will cost you at, $3K. I'm quite excited to make it soon. Maybe I'll video it. Oh, Woven, you absolutely must. Take us on the adventure with you. That's, I think, why it's so important now to create this community, to film, because it's a huge pain in the butt. Huge pain in the butt to film everything as I'm working, because all I want to do is just get into my workflow. I just want to create and move on. It slows me way down. But it's so worth it because I get to take you guys on the journey. Not everyone gets to create cool stuff, you know? And I get to share it with all of you, no matter where you are in the world. It's pretty awesome. Ooh, what's Rage saying? Still gotta get you to be a kooky legendary blacksmith on a mountain in Elder Scrolls 6. Dude, Rage, I would be all about it. I'll voice him. I'll design the shop. Oh, it'd be great. Ooh, maybe I could design some of the weapons and stuff that you get from him. I love that. I love that idea. Oh man, the members are banding together. Oh, this is troublesome. I showed you Valhalla doors and they were fangirling over your work. Well, thank you. That means the world to me. You know, like, oh, mahalo back to you. That I'm so touched. Thank you so much. I'm deeply humbled. You know, like, there's nothing like something that spawns in the center of your mind, right? Straight out of the pineal gland. And then to be able to share it with others. And then they themselves impact it in a positive way. And then they get to take that inspiration and create their own works. God, we were talking about that in tea time today too. You know, because I've given perpetual engines, perpetual motional engines. Sorry, it's Sunday. My brain's still recovering from a little cold. Bear with me. But yeah, like I've given a lot of attempts to perpetual engines, and creativity, though, I think is the truest perpetual engine. You know, passion is so contagious. You see someone doing something excellent, and it inspires you to do the very same, you know, and to be able to share that with others, and it just permeates. It's just great. You know, it's almost like when, when they were like first discovering like nuclear energy through the bomb and stuff like that. And there was like, well, there is a chance that it just totally blows up our atmosphere, you know, and just keeps going. It's perpetual. And I feel like creativity kind of does that, but in like the reverse, like positive way, you know, just like fire, right? It has the aptitude to destroy, but also the wonderful inclination to create. How many P's were just mentioned? I know. Alliterations for days. Crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay. When I was cutting out the base for Scorpius, I cut it out of another ring. Like this, but like that, right? And then there was another circle up here, but man, did these not just totally create the Talon from Jurassic Park? Remember the kid across, whoosh, across the belly? Also, I mean, like, how talking about some dastardly, like, blades you can like, you know, these are nasty. And see, like, fantasy weapons are just too easy. You know, you take a cool shape, you're like, oh, how could I wreak absolute mayhem with this thing? You know, it's pretty cool. Whoa, it was like Chronicles of Riddick. He had like cool, like reverse blades, you know, ram horns. Oh yeah, totally. Oh my God, I can't believe I haven't done that yet. Like Loki. Oh, you know, like that. It's so fun to like, just that sense of play. Keep that alive, because that is truly the source of, you know, deepest, most truest creativity. Is sense of play, like seeing some pieces of scrap in your workshop or your whatever, and just like, oh, start playing around with it, and then all of a sudden, boom, eureka! You got all sorts of cool new designs to play with. You know what I mean? Just stay curious, stay joyful. Now you gotta go, William, don't even get me going about crescent moons. We got a blood moon coming up. I gotta think of what I wanna do. Well, so, my wife and I, we celebrate the 13th every month. Because we're total cornballs. Hi, Jessica. So my wife and I were total cornballs, and we celebrate each other every 13th of every month, because that was the day our first date was on. And we're really into Halloween, spooky stuff, so 13 just felt right. Well, we got a lunar eclipse on this 13th. And I'm very excited. And we're thinking about maybe like we'll bake like a red velvet cake. We might, maybe do some like a beet roast, and maybe watch something that has to do with red and just have like a full night of it. Celebrate in its entirety. But yeah, don't even get me going about the moons, our celestial dance that we're taking part in every day. We had all that whole planetary alignment going on. Oh God, it's so cool. And I think that's why I'm so excited about these zodiac art installations, these sculptures. Not so much from the zodiac things, like what's that? What's the word? Help me, chat. Starts with an A. It's not almanac. Crap. Horoscope. I don't know where the A was coming from. Anyways, horoscope. Like, that's not my, oh yeah, and praise the sun. Absolutely mythic. Exactly. That's what gives all life. Like every culture had either a god or some sense of worship of the sun. It's everything. It's the reason we're not just some dark rock whizzing off into infinity. It's everything. Astrological. Maybe that's where the A was coming in. Thank you. Yeah, the mind is a mysterious thing, is it not? But horoscope stuff, I give it a little, it's fun. Super fun, but I don't put a total lot of precedent into it. But I love that throughout history, all cultures looked up at the same sky. How unifying is that? That we all looked up at the same stars with mystery and curiosity. And I just love how unifying and humanist that really is to me. So I'm kind of moving forward with that kind of spirit into the Zodiac sculpture series. Ooh, you also, instead of 30, oh, yeah, woven. I like where your head's at. I like that. Yeah, we definitely, I actually, because we haven't seen like Nosferatu yet. And I was like, Casey, blood moon, vampires. Come on. And I think Casey turned it down, but maybe I could still work on her. We'll work on her. Cool cup. Ghost, I like this cup. It's a good one. It's vacuum sealed, so it stays nice and toasty hot. Even though it's in like those brisk mornings, there's nothing more cozy than like being out here where the steel is like ice and it just sucks the very life essence out of your hands as you touch it. But then you still see, through the sunlight, the early morning sunlight, you see your cup steaming hot. That's like, oh, thank God, I got a little bit of reprieve. You know what I mean? Jared, you look like a Viking. Oh, thank you. Like if you're talking about those, like the sexy ass Netflix guys, shit, that's a great compliment. Yeah. No one's seen a Viking in a long time. Not true, early modern humans saw more than the stars since died and forgotten too far away. One of my favorite CSI episodes was the Red Moon and the Vampire and the Werewolf Can Play. Ooh, William, that's so cool. Hey, an overgrown dwarf. Yes. I'm the yeah, I like that. The mind's call. I love it. I'm just such a big fan of fantasy. All fantasy. But Tolkien, the godfather of our modern fantasy, just like he nailed it. What a guy, huh? How cool would it be to sit down with a cup of tea with him? Warhammers, 100%. Speaking of Warhammers, I've been really tempted to get into Monster Hunter World. No, not Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter, oh God, the new one. Is it Worlds? I'm dying to play it because when you strike true with the hammer, when like you knock out a beast and you're coming up with the wind up and you're just laying down combos with the hammer. Wilds, thank you. It looks so good, and I love that game so much. But I got a business to run, and I'll get too addicted. Having the Minecraft server is bad enough. But in worlds, I had a lot of fun with the charge blade. The charge blade. Speaking of landing combos, oh my god, when it just starts landing, and you're just so satisfying. Ooh, do I have a favorite game series? You know what my favorite fantasy? You know what my favorite fantasy series is? It's got to be Arcane. Like, that's the world I would create if I was just some architect and I had like multiple teams of builders. I could just create a city like you see in Arcane. Maybe not the wealth disparity, but just all the armilleries, all of the science, fantasy mixed. Oh my God, it's like if someone crawled in my brain and just created it. I felt almost like I was stolen from. It's just so beautiful. I can't even stand it. Ooh, what's my favorite Warhammer style? Like real life, so light and fast, really. Because I swing heavy in here in the shop, but light and fast. It's all about endurance. Yeah. What about a D&D session with the emphasis on cyberpunk Halloween? Woven, you're ahead of me. So I've been running, so I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I'm a huge Dungeons and Dragons nut. I'm over here, I create fantasy for a living. That's my job. But then for fun, I get to create fantasy for my players. I'm a forever DM. I love it so much. And I do long format games. Like the one we're doing right now. They're almost level 20 and it's like end game stuff, right? They've been doing this for like 5 some odd years now, 6 years. It's incredible. And like the amount of stories, the lore we've created together is incredible. But I'm slowly but surely creating my next campaign, my next setting. Kind of a Cosmere, if you will. And I'm just so excited. Creating social systems, government systems, but especially like how the magic works, its place in power. Because think about it, if you have like mages, that's a huge source of power, differentiating themselves with normal mortals. So thinking about power constructs and all that good stuff, and it'll be very, very much steampunk, kind of Star Trek, but definitely fantasy, still fantasy, almost like Treasure Planet, if you will. But it'll be like solar systems and galaxies. It'll be humongous. Something I'm going to probably spend the rest of my life in. It's going to be a lot of fun. You should do movie roles. Ooh, as a set in medieval times. I mean, Jared, I feel like I got where I am today by just kind of saying yes. Did you ever see Yes Man with Jim Carrey? The power of yes is a real thing. Power of yes goes a long ways. Yeah, Heavy Metal 2000. Yeah, Ray, that'll be totally essences of that. Kind of like Lobo-esque, space bikers and truckers and, subcultures. Not so law-abiding citizens creating syndicates and stuff. Oh, it's going to be great. I cannot freaking wait. Do you know about the back rooms? Oh, a little bit. I have a campaign set in them. Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, like liminal spaces, yeah. Have you played Diablo 3? Oh, William, oh, absolutely. I was a monk guy. I love monk, like the explosive palm. If you can get that, just like every attack, and it just like is huge, like chain reactions. Oh, baby. I'm actually crazy for the cyberpunk world. Oh, totally. Well, it's dark and gritty, and there's a sense of realism, like the '80s when it comes to like Blade Runner, RoboCop, innumerable others, right? The '80s were just rich when it came to like runaway capitalism, kind of what we're experiencing now, where corporations are oligarchian. You know what I mean? Like Pearl Jam tried to warn us, but there's a deep sense of realism, and I don't feel like fantasy can be very successful without a little bit of groundedness, a little sense of reality. Akira, Joel, Bingo, bango, partner. Yeah. And it doesn't have to look cyberpunk, but it's got to have those themes. Because when things are utopian, there's not much fuel for the fire. The creative fires at that be, both of creative and destructive principles. Sorry, we get very philosophical over here. Over here in our Sunday chats, we get very deep into philosophy. It's good. Well, it's cool to peel back the layers of the onion and get to the core of creation in general, because that's my process. That's a huge part of my process of, like when it comes to even just a simple gate, all right? I get to meet the people and I get to, I get rules and parameters established. The space, right? This frame, the space, their likes and dislikes. And they might not know what their likes and dislikes are. And then I start to kind of filter that through. And it's through from RoboCop to Tolkien to my inner workings, my inner world that I've been constructing for my entire life. It's all good. There's no bad media to consume because it all fuels your inner creativity. It's all blocks that your inner child gets to play with. You know what I mean? You would have made a better Braveheart character? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Jared. That's awfully kind of you to say. Maybe. I play the bagpipes, so maybe I got that going for me. I love the Demon Hunter because it has machine gun-like powers. Oh, totally. Totally. How do you keep your hair so wavy? Oh, it's natural. I couldn't. Could you imagine me with curlers in the forge? No, that's just all just natural. I feel very grateful for just my blessings. I got a bunch of shortcomings, but I got some blessings out there for sure from it. But yeah, that's one of them. It's just what I was born with, Have you ever played Skyrim before? Oh. Raven? You bet. I think Skyrim was a huge bloom. I mean, that came out, 2008? No, was it that old? No, I don't think it's that old. Anyways, but Skyrim, that changed a lot of my perceptions when it comes to fantasy, design, and I think I still carry a huge Skyrim nugget in my heart at all times. There's certain things, there's keystone medias that will always stick with us. 11/11/11. Oh, I'll be damned. That's great. Yeah, 2011. November 11th. I'll be damned. Yeah, it was so beautiful. I'll just never forget, and it was a few things. It wasn't just the art style. That's been done before. And it wasn't just the combat, that's been done plenty of times. I played plenty of games that are very reminiscent to that. I think it was the beautiful landscape, the exploration, the mystery, the sense of exploration, and the music. Jeremy Soule, I hear he might be not a great person in real life, but the music that he created for that transcended everything else, and just the way that it worked so well with just a sense of awe, of security. It's just like a warm blanket. Even though you might be fighting a frost troll up on the top of a mountain, you're still just cozy. I couldn't complete with the game was amazing. Yeah, it's so good. I absolutely loved the story as well. Oh, it was great. It's so funny too because the game that I've been running, my Dungeons and Dragons game, I wasn't sure it was with a bunch of new players, and I wasn't sure they were going to even like Dungeons and Dragons. So I set it in Skyrim. They're playing in Skyrim. Alduin's come back, but I super D&D-ified it. So it's unrecognizable, but I just used it as a template when I was starting up because I memorized that thing after probably, I would even say probably tens of thousands of hours in Skyrim. Probably hundreds of playthroughs. I played the crap out of Skyrim. Hundreds of characters. And just got the whole place memorized. So it was an easy setting to just pick up. And 6 years later, we're wrapping that up. But that's always going to be a huge part of my heart is Skyrim. Joel, heck yeah. I mean, it's so funny because like when I mentioned that, Jeremy Soule might not be the best person, I guess there was some like abuse allegations and stuff like that, which that sucks. You never want to hear someone that you admire, an artist, a creative, whatever, do something terrible. But I don't believe it tarnishes their creation because, hear me out. This is my hear me out moment, right? I feel like their creation is no longer theirs. They created it, and I've said this before, when you crest the mountain ranges, like literally, like right when you start up the game, when you escape Helgen, raised to the ground by Alduin overhead, and he flies off, and you escape, right? Your heart's pounding out of your chest, and then you escape, and then you just, all of a sudden the world is opened up to you, and you're seeing the aurora borealis and the two moons rise over the heavens, and you're just met with just this uncanny serenity. That music's no longer his. That's now ours. That's our experience. That is that fundamental core memory that we all share. It's not his anymore. That's ours. That forever lives in our soul. What a time to get into it. 2020, absolutely. Fantasy is such a healthy way of escapism. So healthy. Because, the world can be terrible sometimes. And I think it's so healthy to recognize it, feel it, experience it. But it's good to protect yourself a little bit and go inside, recuperate, build your energy back up, and then face it head on. That's how I survived as a child. I had a really tough go at it, as most of you have. That's where it gave me my creativity, my sense of design, is creating worlds within myself. Oh, it's fun to reminisce on. It's good. It's good. It's healthy. Well, I don't want to, speaking of healthy, I don't want to, take all your beautiful Sunday. You guys got a great day to get ahead of. But, I'll leave things here. I love getting philosophical with you. I love having a good old Sunday chat with you all after tea time with the Patreon. If you like this, if you like this interaction, the way we deal with the world, through courageous creativity and positivity, come join the Patreon. We do this every Sunday over a cup of tea, over Zoom, where we get to talk, you and I. It's a lot of fun. So go check it out if you want to. It's a blast. I try to make it super cheap and, very readily accessible to everybody. But what did Harry say? I think Scout and Yvonne needs to draw forging. Oh, you working in curlers. Don't you dare put that in the universe. Don't you dare. Absolutely dare. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, forging with curlers in. Oh my God. Well, everybody, freaking love you guys. Don't forget to freaking love each other, okay? Do something kind for someone today, if not for yourself. All right, everybody. Have a great Sunday. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.